Okay. I want to apologize to myself and to people that are watching because I want to have a certain consistency and I want to be, consistent with my uploading, my sharing, my practice because that was the whole premise of these videos, to have an opportunity for me to share my process in order for me to get to document my process, to have this as a habit, practicing, documenting the process, sharing the process, and then back to it continuously. And then I started off doing this on a weekly basis. Somewhere along the beginning of this year, I wanted to try to give myself some more space because I felt that I had put so much pressure on myself creating this content, and I had lost a little bit of the mind space to really be present in my practice. But because I created this much space, it might have been too much space, and now it's become very easy for me to postpone creating these videos, and actually it's been just nice to have a little bit of distance. But I want to find a nice balance between having my practice, documenting it, sharing it, and to keep myself in that way accountable for the goals I'm setting and for the ambition I have, because this whole project, this road to infinity, has been very helpful. So I don't want to lose it, but I don't want it to take over me. Having said that, I'm back with another video. It's not perfect, but it is happening, which is the most important thing with practice. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is to summarize July. Something that happened transitioning from June into July, which was to start with my online classes. Finally, it is something that is consistently happening. Teaching online has been something I've been wanting to do because I've been wanting to teach, or to get back to teaching, because I really enjoy it, but I've had a hard time getting to it because I haven't been staying put in one place geographically for a long period. So ideally now, online is the perfect platform for me, because then no matter where I am, I can still get to the weekly teaching, the weekly sharing. And what I've enjoyed so far is to have my class open to anybody. This is something that I'm happy with currently. Of course, at a certain point, I would want to have a consistent group that I work with for X amount of weeks, so that I can build on something. Because at the moment, because they're open classes, people drop in when they can, and it might be new people joining in, some are joining consistently. It's hard for me at the moment to build on something, because somewhere I still need to reintroduce the concepts that I'm going through. This is something I'm gonna talk about more towards the end of this video. The second thing that happened in July, early, was I did a residency with my crew, Mayeko, in a city called Jönköping in Sweden, where we could dive into a studio and work together, because Mayeko is part of a project called Attitudes. And this Attitudes project is a collaboration between 6 different countries, where every country, a choreographer or a group, an artist representing that country, creating a piece. And then this is 7, I meant 6. And these 6 groups are then divided into 2 groups where they have a triple bill performance. So Mayeko is part of a triple bill that is gonna happen in 2025. Another thing that had a big impact on me in July was an event called Holy Shit. Actually, it's a 2-week intensive organized by Mary Kay from Denmark, and in collaboration with Ijo Wilson, one of the OGs from New York. I've only heard positive things about the intensive, so if you're ever looking out for something like this, you should check that out. But these 2 weeks ended with a battle, and I went to this to participate, and wow, it was such a nice atmosphere. And what I very much liked about this battle was that it's a 1 versus 1 house dance battle, but normally these battles are 1 minute per person. At this Holy Shit battle, we had no time limit. So every dancer could take their time, do what they needed to do during the time that they needed, and then pass it on to the next person. At this event, I felt really good about myself. I had the opportunity to go against two people. So I lost in my top 8. So I did a pre-selection, made it top 16, won my first round, and then in the second round, so in the top 8, I lost. In these both exchanges, it was against people that I really appreciated. I felt like it wasn't a competition anymore. It was an exchange. One of my bros, Joel, he shared with me, and also on Instagram at one point, the meaning or the etymology, the origin of competition, like to compete, and it being composed of 2 words of, see if I get this right, this is come and then petere, and this is like coming together and then to like seek, which for me gave, when I had Joel explain this to me, a battle or a competition had a totally different like meaning, or I saw it differently, and it made more sense to me. A lot of times we go to a battle and it's a really like the competition of like winning over somebody else and then working your way towards a final and then to a prize. But this whole notion of coming together and aiming for something, seeking something, it became more of this, again, this exchange that I felt I had with these people, because the outcome I would love to have is that I am being pushed by my opponent. I get presented a certain level of performance, and then this to motivate me to, okay, I need to step up, I need to elevate. And then depending on how many rounds, if it's more than 1 round, then you really have, okay, this person says something and you can reply, okay, and then take it up a notch. And then that person then, okay, replies again and takes it up a notch. And then like this, you elevate together. So this togetherness that I really enjoy about these battles. And this specific event really made that clear for me, that this is what I enjoy. Something that I also appreciated was that Ejo Wilson shared some words with some of the people that lost during the battle. And it were words of encouragement, and he was very specific with each person. And I got some very beautiful words shared with me that made me, I was surprised, happily surprised, but I think the words being said to me was the prize of that day. Like I was there, did what I did, but at the end of the day, I feel like a part of me needed to hear those words, which hopefully from now on will relieve me of certain doubts that I have about me and my dance and my capabilities, and that I should not doubt this and I should just keep going and see where it's gonna take me. In July, together again with my crew, we went up north in Sweden to Östersund, and we were invited to judge a battle called the Big Lake Jam, and we also taught workshops. And also another opportunity for me to step into the role of being a judge at a battle. For people that have seen my videos, I've mentioned before that this is not something that I've done a lot, and it's something that I definitely have a lot of room to grow in, because not only am I sitting there watching these dancers perform and then evaluate and decide somebody I find being the better performer in that moment, but also doing this, making these hard choices every time. And then also at the end of an event, if people come up to me asking me for feedback to how do I navigate through this? Because also, just because I'm a judge at an event doesn't really place me as a know-it-all. Like you might come ask for feedback, but it's also like based on my opinion in that moment, based on my experiences and my values that I'm making certain choices. So it's also to see how I give a person feedback, because at the end of the day, I might have forgotten the impact a judge has had on me when I've been to battles and when I've asked for feedback, and whatever they said, how I've taken it with me. So I also want to be conscious of this, that even if I don't regard myself being like a big deal, but a person that is at this event and asking for my opinion does somewhere, I think, value what I have to say. So it's also, how do I want to contribute to this person's growth? And what else? Oh, the last thing is that at the end of July, I came to the Netherlands, which is where I am currently. So I'm in the Netherlands right now because of work, which is something I'm so thankful for. I'm a dancer in a performance called Our House. And this performance, Our House, is gonna have a premiere in Rotterdam, so in the Netherlands, at the end of September. So if you happen to be in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam specifically, do come out and check us out. Our House. I'll try to provide a link in the description, and that pretty much wraps it up for July. Okay, so I'm checking time because I am also meant to teach in a little bit online as I'm recording this video. So timing wise, I could do way better. But here we are. Something that I do want to mention is that I have lately been feeling, I think, FOMO in the terms of what I think my practice is lacking, or the things I want to include in my practice. I unfortunately end up doom scrolling. So I'm on Instagram and I see dancers share what they do, and if I see somebody practicing, or if I see somebody upload a solo, I quickly take note of things that I feel that I am lacking, maybe in my dance or in the way I am practicing my dance currently. And then I feel like, oh shit, okay, I'm then building a to-do list or a want-to-do list of things I want to implement in a already what feels like being a busy schedule. I think this is also coming down to me perhaps doubting a bit of my practice or my abilities currently, because Summer Dance Forever, Random Circles, Flavorama, which are the 3 events where like I go to every year, or Random Circles is new to me, like last year was the first time, but these big events are like, okay, this is like the moment I've been practicing my whole year to kind of like test myself, to see how has this year been, how is my development going, and how does it differ from last year. I think I'm worrying a bit about how this is gonna turn out, and yeah, and I think there's a certain fear of like, oh shit, it's been a year already. I know I did good last year, and I want to do better. Have I done enough? Am I like what I'm feeling that I'm lacking? Will this be the thing that's gonna make it or break it for me? Something like this. I think I'm entering a state of like FOMO, some doubts, and as I did in my little Road to Infinity notebook, I did have a section where I started writing things down for next year that I want to start, like either diving deeper in or wanting to add. Doing this list consciously, knowing that whatever I start now, any changes I'll start doing now, is not necessarily gonna help me in the coming battles, but this is gonna help me for next year. So anything that I'm coming up with now, like, oh, I would wanna do this, I am trying to be aware that all of these are good things, good updates, upgrades, but that the impact will be for next year. So it's as if I would be like feeling that I haven't trained at all, but I'm now want to go to the gym to get ready for Beach 2024. Clearly, I'm too late for that. So anything that I start now, the outcome or the result or any kind of result of this will then show the earliest next year. Trying to be mindful of this, so I have these thoughts passing through my mind, but I'm also allowing it to, okay, I see these thoughts, okay, I wanna do this, this, and this. So I allow the excitement, I write it down, and then as I wrote it down, I try to take a step back and, okay, what am I actually feeling? And then being mindful, and then to tell myself, which I had to do, I think it was yesterday from this recording, we're doing good with the practice that I've had. So that means that for my dance and for my path currently, I haven't been needing anything else, but I know where I can head further. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to be mindful of, and I think it's a sense of FOMO. I remind myself, trust the process that I've been in, and that I'm doing good and everything will turn out fine at these events, no matter the outcome. All right, I need to teach class. I'm gonna leave it there, and I think I need to record another video after the class. So I'll be back. It is early morning, and I had to stop recording yesterday due to online class, and then I never got back to recording again, so finishing up. So this is part 2. I'm only weeks away from finishing my second year of Road to Infinity. 2 years of this project. 2 years since the day that I decided to change where I was in my dance career. So Road to Infinity, I started with Road 35, basically wrapping up Road 36, and then it's time to start another year. And this project, being second year, is literally just the beginning of whatever this will turn out to be. This is my path towards figuring out or trying to unlock my true potential, and I'm 2 years in of that. And I don't know how far, obviously, I'm gonna get. I also try to remind myself, like, oh yeah, 2 years passed really fast, but it's still the beginning. Like, even if we're talking about time when talking about mastery, the 10,000 hours, I think it's equivalent to like around 10 years of practice, like 10 years to master something, and I'm 2 years in. So whatever I'm on my path of mastering, I'm still 8 years away. I've now started to teach online, which has been amazing so far. It's been very rewarding for me to be able to have something consistently on a platform that for me doesn't bind myself to a specific location, so that I can still travel, I can still do the projects that I'm very passionate about. So what I would like to do is to have this online teaching branch into 2 or 3 things. First, I would like to keep the open classes that I have that might not have a specific day of the week, but they happen when I have time for it, making it very accessible for people to try it out. So I'd still want to keep that. Then I would like to, would I say a course? It would be a course, but to offer this Leviathan Flow practice where we basically deep dive into it. I'm thinking that the course could be 12 weeks, so 3 months, where we just week after week build on the information and it becomes more coherent. Because with the open classes, it might drop in people, so it might be reintroducing the concept, having a hard time maybe keeping track of who has received what information. The Leviathan Flow deep dive would be 12 weeks with a closed group. After 12 weeks, we open up the group again, and then maybe there's like either it branches off to like a continuation, people that have done the course, into a separate group, and then opening up for a new 12-week program. And of course, the people that do commit to then a specific day and time, we build on this together. And if people are not able to join on a specific day, thankfully to the possibility to record the session, then they're still able to get the information afterwards. That's something I would like to start. So a 12-week course, Leviathan Flow, deep dive, where we build on the information week by week. And the last thing I would like to do, to parallel to the deep dive, is to offer something I would like to call Road to Infinity, which basically is this course, plus adding a layer of coaching, a layer where I further also add the conversations about practice and how to set up a long-term practice. So basically sharing what I've been doing for 2 years, help people navigate in how they can practice or keep consistent practice, parallel to the physical information I'm giving on the dance, to then add the theoretical part of how to keep track of your practice, how to set up your own schedule, have conversations about what might occur during your long-term practice, things that you might think of or things that you might be looking for, but that might actually be holding you back because you're looking for a certain external reward or motivation when it's something that needs to come from somewhere else or as a result of something. The Road to Infinity would be kind of this art of practice that I'm talking about or that I'm sharing through this project and this channel, together with the Leviathan Flow Deep Dive. And that would also be a small group. I'm thinking maybe 5 people that I would, 5, maximum 10, I think, to offer this to, and where we would have like a group chat, for example, and where people would be able to send videos for feedback, and I would be able to give more attention to these individuals. And if I'm being realistic, because now in October I'll be going to Asia, and I would then like to start this 12-week course when I'm back. It would be easier to then keep a consistent days for these classes, but I also don't want to wait so long, and might start already in either September or October, but I need to make a decision, but information is going to come up. I just want to mention that these are the things that I'm interested in starting, and if you are interested in any of this, whether it's the open class, the Leviathan Flow Deep Dive, or the Road to Infinity package, so if you want any more information, let me know in the comments below or message me on Instagram. I'm just taking in where I am currently and what these 2 years have rewarded me with, and I'm also very grateful for you and have been following me up until now, and I hope that you also will want to continue following and also are curious to see where this channel will go, because I believe there's something here, and just like with my practice, I'm curious to see what its full potential is and where this will go. If you like what you're seeing, please give it a like, helping me out to reach out to more people. Share it to those you think would be interested. Follow if you'd like, subscribe. Other than that, I really hope that you're enjoying your practice and that you remain curious to find out what your true potential is. And I'll see you in the next one.